The alarm bells rang across the Federation Council building. Every senator stopped what they were doing. Something was wrong. Something big. The emergency lights flashed red and the main doors sealed shut. In the control room, operators watched their screens with wide eyes. They could not believe what they were seeing. A ship had appeared. Not just any ship. A warship, massive, dark, covered in weapons. It sat at the edge of their space like a predator watching its prey. The computer systems tried to identify it. They searched every database, every record, every known species. Nothing matched. This ship was unknown. This ship was dangerous. Captain Hyunwoo stood on the bridge of the UNS Retribution. His hands rested on the command chair. His face showed no emotion. Around him, his crew worked at their stations. Screens glowed with information. Maps showed star systems. Tactical displays tracked every sensor contact. They had trained for this moment for years. Now it was real. Lieutenant Dae-sung looked up from his console. He was the tactical officer. His job was to find threats and eliminate them. Right now he was counting alien ships. Hundreds of them. Thousands maybe. They were everywhere. Military vessels, civilian transports, space stations. All of them were watching the Retribution. All of them were afraid. Hyunwoo smiled. It was a small smile. A cold smile. He had seen the alien transmissions. They were panicking, sending distress calls, activating their defense systems, moving their fleets into position. They thought they could stop humanity. They thought they could fight back. They were wrong. For 300 years, the Galactic Federation had watched Earth. They had spies, observers, monitoring stations hidden in the outer solar system. They watched humans fight their wars, build their weapons, conquer their planet. Every fight made humans stronger. Every war made them smarter. Every defeat taught them new lessons. The Federation Council had held many meetings about Earth, about humanity. They debated for decades. Should they make contact? Should they stay hidden? Should they try to stop human progress? Some wanted to destroy Earth before humans could leave their planet. Others argued for patience, for waiting, for hoping humans would destroy themselves. But humans did not destroy themselves. They survived, they grew, they reached for the stars, and when they finally cracked the secret of faster-than-light travel, the galaxy held its breath. Now that moment had arrived. Humanity was here. Ji-hai worked in the communications section. She was a council member from Earth, a diplomat. Her job was to make humanity look peaceful, to make them seem friendly, to hide what humanity really was. She sent carefully worded messages to the Federation, messages about exploration, about trade, about friendship. Every word was a lie. Tae-yang sat in the intelligence section. His screen showed everything. Every alien communication, every secret transmission, every encrypted message. The aliens thought their codes were safe. They thought their secrets were hidden. Tae-yang had broken their encryption in minutes. Now he read everything, knew everything, shared everything with the captain. The aliens were terrified. Their messages proved it. They called humanity many things: warmongers, killers, monsters. They saw human history, saw the wars, the weapons, the nuclear bombs, the genocide, the cruelty. They saw what humans did to their own planet, to their own people, and they feared what humans would do to the galaxy. Hyunwoo read the reports. The aliens were right to be afraid. Humanity had spent thousands of years perfecting the art of war. Every civilization in human history had contributed something. New weapons, new tactics, new ways to kill. While the Federation species had peace for millennia, humans had war. Constant war. War that never ended. Commander Soo-jin prepared her teams. She commanded the Marine battalions, 2,000 soldiers, each one a veteran, each one trained in 100 different combat styles, each one equipped with weapons that could tear through alien armor like paper. She reviewed their gear, checked their readiness. They were ready. They were always ready. The first alien delegation was approaching. A small ship, unarmed, flying slowly, broadcasting peace signals on every frequency. They wanted to talk, to negotiate, to understand why humanity had come. Hyunwoo ordered his crew to prepare the reception hall. He ordered Soo-jin to position her soldiers. He wanted the aliens to see, to understand, to know fear. Dae-sung monitored the alien ship. It was primitive, slow, weak. Its shields could not stop a single human missile. Its weapons could not scratch the Retribution's hull. The ship carried 15 aliens, diplomats probably, coming to beg humanity to leave, coming to offer bribes, coming to make deals. They would learn that humanity did not make deals. Humanity made demands. The alien ship docked. The airlock opened. The delegation entered. They were tall, thin, blue-skinned. Their eyes were large, their movements nervous. They carried no weapons. They wore ceremonial robes. They looked like scholars, like priests, like people who had never seen real war. Sujin's Marines lined the corridor, 50 soldiers on each side, each one in full combat armor, each one holding a rifle. The aliens walked between them. Their fear was visible. Their hands shook. Their eyes darted from soldier to soldier. They had never seen anything like this. Their own military forces were small, ceremonial, for parades and shows, not for fighting, not for killing. Yunwu waited in the reception hall. He stood alone. No guards, no weapons. He did not need them. Behind the walls, hidden weapons tracked every alien. Automated turrets, laser systems, gas dispensers. If the aliens tried anything stupid, they would die before they could blink. But Hyunwoo knew they would not try anything. They were too afraid. The lead alien spoke first. Its voice was high, musical, translated by computers into human language. It welcomed humanity to the galaxy. It offered friendship. It praised peace. It talked about cooperation and mutual understanding. It promised trade agreements and cultural exchange. Every word was desperate. Every sentence begged humanity to be peaceful. Hyunwoo listened. He did not smile. He did not speak. He just listened. Let the alien talk. Let it make its offers. Let it show its fear. When the alien finished, Hyunwoo stood silent for a long moment. The tension filled the room. The aliens shifted nervously, waited for his response, feared his response. Then Hyunwoo spoke. His voice was calm, quiet, but it carried absolute authority. He told the aliens that humanity appreciated their welcome. He said humans came in peace. He promised that humanity wanted only friendship. But his eyes told a different story. His eyes promised violence. His eyes showed the truth. Humanity had come to claim the galaxy, and nothing would stop them. The aliens understood. They had studied human history. They knew about human wars, about human conquests, about human empires that rose and fell. They knew that every time humans said they came in peace, war followed. Every time humans promised friendship, they brought slavery. Every time humans offered trade, they took everything. But what could they do? Fight? Their weapons were toys compared to human technology. Run? Where would they go? Humanity had faster ships, better sensors, longer range. Surrender? That meant slavery at best, extinction at worst. The aliens had no good choices. They had no choices at all. Taeyang continued monitoring alien communications. The panic was spreading. Every species in the Federation was talking, arguing, fighting among themselves. Some wanted to attack humanity immediately, strike first before humans could spread. Others wanted to negotiate, to buy time, to hope for a miracle. A few wanted to surrender, to accept whatever humanity demanded, to survive at any cost. Hyunwoo smiled again as he read the reports. The galaxy was already tearing itself apart, and humanity had not fired a single shot. This was how wars were won, not with weapons, not with battles, but with fear, with reputation, with the knowledge that resistance was futile. The Federation had ruled the galaxy for 10,000 years. That age was over. The age of humanity had begun. Ambassador Minji walked into the main reception hall. She wore a simple uniform, blue and white, no medals, no decorations, nothing fancy. But everyone who saw her knew she was dangerous. Her eyes were sharp, her movements precise. She had been a soldier before becoming a diplomat. That training never left her. Behind her came Jae-sung. He was the security chief, a big man with scars on his face. He wore full combat armor, black and gray, covered in sensors and weapons. His team followed him, 20 soldiers, each one silent, each one deadly. They spread out across the hall, took positions, watched every corner, every door, every shadow. The Velkari delegation materialized in the center of the room. They did not walk in. They did not use doors. They just appeared, One moment the space was empty. The next moment 5 aliens stood there. Their bodies were made of crystal, clear, shimmering, beautiful. Light passed through them, reflected, created rainbows on the walls. But Minji saw past the beauty. She saw the fear. The Valkyrie were shaking. Their crystal bodies vibrated slightly, creating a soft sound, like wind chimes. They were terrified, and they had every right to be. Specialist Hyorin stood near the wall. Her weapons array was active, targeting systems locked on each Valkyrie. The aliens could see the red laser dots on their bodies. They knew what it meant. The lead Valkyrie spoke. Its voice sounded like music, like bells ringing. The translator converted the sounds into human language. The Valkyrie offered peace. It brought gifts, data crystals containing knowledge, technology, art, culture, everything the Valkyrie had to offer. It hoped humanity would accept, would be satisfied, would leave them alone. Minji did not even look at the gifts. She gestured to Young Ho instead. He was the chief engineer, a small man with quick hands and a brilliant mind. He took one of the data crystals, plugged it into his portable analyzer. His neural implants connected to the device. Information flooded into his brain. Thousands of files, millions of data points. He processed it all in seconds. Young Ho smiled. The Valkyrie technology was primitive, hundreds of years behind humanity. Their energy shields used old principles, inefficient, weak. A human plasma rifle could punch through them easily. Their weapons were worse, particle beams that humans had abandoned decades ago. Their ships were slow. Their computers basic. They had nothing humanity wanted. Nothing humanity needed. But that was not the interesting part. Young Ho dove deeper into the data, found the hidden files, the ones the Valkyrie thought were encrypted, the ones they thought were safe. He cracked the encryption. Read the truth. The Valkyrie had been studying humanity, analyzing human technology, trying to find weaknesses, trying to develop countermeasures. He shared the data with Minji through their neural link. She received it instantly, understood it immediately. Her expression did not change, but her eyes grew colder. The Valkyrie had been planning, scheming, working with other species, trying to build an alliance against humanity, trying to stop human expansion before it started. They had failed, but they had tried. Communications Officer Da-un worked in the background. Her equipment filled one wall: screens, antennas, signal processors. She intercepted every transmission in this sector of space. The Valkyrie ship was broadcasting, sending encrypted messages back to their homeworld, begging for instructions, asking for help, reporting that the humans were stronger than expected, requesting evacuation. Da-un decoded every message, shared them with the command team. The Valkyrie homeworld was in chaos. Their government was arguing. Some leaders wanted to fight. Others wanted to run. A few wanted to surrender immediately. They could not agree, could not decide, could not act. That indecision would kill them. General Sung Ho reviewed the medical data. Dr. Jiwoo had compiled it. Information about every known alien species, their biology, their weaknesses, their tolerances. The data showed something interesting. Humans were unique, special, different from every other species in the galaxy. Human bodies were tough, resilient. They could survive in extreme temperatures, hot deserts, frozen tundra. They could breathe thin air, drink dirty water, eat almost anything. Most alien species needed perfect conditions, controlled environments, specific temperatures, pure air, clean water, special food. Without these things, they died quickly. But humans thrived in harsh conditions. They adapted, evolved, survived. Earth had been a brutal teacher. Ice ages, droughts, plagues, disasters. Everything that should have killed humanity only made them stronger. While other species developed in peaceful gardens, humans grew up in hell. It showed. Human minds were different too. Faster, more creative, better at solving problems. The average human could outthink most alien geniuses. Human reaction times were incredible. They could see threats, process information, make decisions, take action, all in fractions of a second. Most aliens needed minutes to do what humans did in moments. And human healing was remarkable. Cuts closed in days, broken bones mended in weeks. Diseases that killed other species were minor illnesses to humans. Even serious injuries often healed completely. Other species needed advanced medical care for simple wounds. Humans just needed time. Their bodies repaired themselves, rebuilt themselves. Refused to die, Admiral Bora prepared the response. She commanded the diplomatic corps. Her job was to turn military superiority into political advantage, to make aliens understand their place. To establish the new order, she drafted the terms. Simple terms, clear terms, terms that left no room for misunderstanding. Humanity would not accept restrictions, would not follow Federation laws, would not limit their expansion, would not reduce their military, would not disarm their ships, would not leave any territory. Humanity would go where they wanted, take what they wanted, do what they wanted. The Federation could accept this, or the Federation could die. The Velkari delegation heard these terms. Their crystal bodies dimmed. Their light faded. They understood what was happening. The galaxy they knew was ending. The peace they enjoyed was over. The Federation they served was finished. Humanity had arrived, and humanity would not be denied. Pilot Kyung-soo sat in the flight deck. His hands rested on the controls. Around him, the fighter squadron waited. 30 ships, small, fast, deadly. Each one carried weapons that could destroy a city. Each one could move faster than alien sensors could track. Each one was piloted by a human who lived for combat. Kyung-soo received the alert. The demonstration was about to begin. He powered up his engines, felt them hum, felt their power. The other pilots did the same. 30 engines, 30 ships, all ready, all waiting, all eager to show the aliens what human technology could do. Minji watched the Velkari leader. Saw its fear growing, saw its hope dying. She felt nothing. No pity, no sympathy, no regret. Humanity had suffered for thousands of years, fought for everything, earned nothing freely, survived when they should have died. Now it was their turn, their time, their galaxy. The Velkari tried one last plea. It offered anything, everything, technology, resources, territory, knowledge, slaves, whatever humanity wanted. Just please, please do not hurt them. Please let them live. Please show mercy. Minji smiled. It was not a kind smile. She told the Velkari that humanity would show mercy. The same mercy the Velkari showed to weaker species. The same mercy the Federation showed to primitive worlds. The same mercy the galaxy showed to those who could not defend themselves. She paused, let the words sink in, then asked the Velkari a question. How much mercy was that? The Velkari could not answer, because they knew the truth. The Federation had no mercy. Advanced species exploited primitive ones, took their resources, stole their people, destroyed their cultures, all while claiming to bring civilization, to spread enlightenment, to share progress. The Federation was built on lies, on theft, on conquest, just like every empire before it. The difference was that humanity admitted what they were. They did not pretend, did not lie, did not hide behind noble words. Humans were conquerors, warriors, survivors. They came to take the galaxy, and they would take it. The only question was how much the aliens would suffer first. Kyung-soo received the launch order. He pressed the throttle forward. His fighter leaped from the hangar, shot into space. The other ships followed. 30 trails of light, 30 engines burning, 30 weapons systems coming online. The demonstration had begun, and the galaxy would never be the same. Fleet Commander Haewon stood in the command center. Around her, holographic displays showed the entire sector. Every ship, every station, every planet. Hundreds of alien vessels watched nervously, waiting, wondering, fearing. She looked at her officers. They were ready. She gave the order with a single word. Activate. Every human warship in the fleet powered up simultaneously. 50 vessels, from massive carriers to small destroyers. Their reactors ignited. Their engines roared to life. The energy output was incredible, massive, overwhelming. Space itself seemed to shake. Gravitational waves rippled outward, reached the nearby Federation station. The entire structure trembled. Alien sensors went crazy. Warning lights flashed. Alarms blared. The Federation station's shields activated automatically. Emergency protocols engaged. Ships scattered, fled, ran from the wave of energy. But it was harmless. Just a demonstration. Just a message. This was human power at rest. Imagine what it could do in battle. Weapons Officer Dong Hyun selected the targets. An asteroid field, abandoned, lifeless, thousands of rocks floating in space. Some small, some massive. The largest was 10 kilometers across, made of solid iron, dense, heavy, nearly indestructible. Perfect for the demonstration, perfect to show what human weapons could do. Tactical Coordinator Sun Hee synchronized the firing solution. Every ship in the fleet would fire together. At the exact same moment, the timing had to be perfect. The coordination absolute. She checked the numbers, verified the calculations, ran the simulation 3 times. Everything was ready. She reported to Haewon, permission to fire. Haewon broadcast the firing sequence on all frequencies. She wanted the aliens to watch, to see, to understand. She counted down. 10 seconds, 9, 8, the tension built. Alien observers held their breath. Cameras focused on the asteroid field. Sensors recorded everything. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, fire. The asteroid field ceased to exist. Not destroyed, not broken apart, not scattered, erased, gone, removed from reality. Where thousands of asteroids had been, there was nothing. Empty space. Not even dust remained. The aliens watching could not comprehend what happened. Their sensors showed impossible readings. Matter converted to energy. Energy dispersed to nothing. Science Officer Yoonji explained the physics calmly. Her voice was steady, professional, like she was teaching a class. She described quantum disruption, matter-antimatter annihilation, zero-point energy manipulation, spatial compression, temporal displacement, words that meant nothing to most aliens, concepts they had never imagined, technology they could not understand. Research Director In-ho transmitted the weapons catalog, a complete list of humanity's arsenal, quantum disruptors that erased matter, singularity cannons that created black holes, reality anchors that froze time, plasma lances that melted planets, kinetic bombardment systems that cracked worlds, biological weapons that could sterilize entire ecosystems, chemical agents that dissolved any substance. Each weapon system came with video demonstrations, tests performed on uninhabited worlds, simulations run in virtual space, calculations showing destructive power. The aliens watched in horror. Each weapon was worse than the last. Each system more terrifying. Each display more impossible. Humanity had not just prepared for war. They had perfected it. The Federation military analysts tried to process the information, tried to find weaknesses, tried to develop countermeasures. They failed. Human technology was too advanced, too different, too alien. It operated on principles the Federation had never discovered, used physics they did not understand, created effects they could not explain. Navigation specialist Nari plotted jump coordinates. She showed them to the observers, showed them routes that should be impossible, jumps through gravity wells, transitions through stellar cores, paths through nebulae that blocked all known sensors. Human ships could go anywhere, could appear anywhere, could strike from anywhere. No defense could stop them. No barrier could contain them. Logistics Officer Ju Wan displayed supply chain data, numbers that defied belief. Human industrial capacity was enormous. They could build ships faster than the Federation could count them, produce ammunition faster than anyone could use it, generate resources from asteroid mining, from planetary processing, from stellar harvesting. They could sustain war indefinitely, forever if necessary. Intelligence analyst Yan He revealed the surveillance network, showed alien leaders their own faces, their own homes, their own families. Human sensors had penetrated every system, every world, every station. They knew where everyone was, what everyone did, what everyone planned. There were no secrets, no privacy, no safety. The map she displayed showed everything. Every Federation military base, every weapons platform, every shipyard, every research facility, every government building, every communication hub, everything marked, everything tracked, everything targeted. If war came, humanity would strike everywhere at once, would destroy everything that mattered, would leave nothing standing. Squadron leader Chang Min led his fighters in a demonstration. 30 ships moving as one. They performed maneuvers that violated physics. 90-degree turns at full speed, instant reversals, vertical climbs in zero gravity. They moved like dancers, like artists, like nothing the aliens had ever seen, but it was not art, it was war. Each impossible maneuver was a combat technique. Each graceful movement was an attack pattern. Each formation was a killing strategy. The fighters flew through spaces too small for them, at speeds too fast for them, with precision too perfect for them. Human pilots did not just fly ships. They became the ships, merged with them, controlled them with thought alone. The aliens tried to track the fighters with their sensors. Failed completely. The human ships moved too fast, changed direction too quickly, generated too much interference. Federation targeting systems could not lock on, could not predict, could not follow. In a real battle, these fighters would slaughter anything they faced, and everyone knew it. Chang Min brought his squadron back to the Retribution. Perfect formation, perfect timing, perfect execution. He reported mission complete. Demonstration successful. Enemy demoralized. He smiled as he said the last part. Because it was true. The aliens were demoralized, defeated without a fight, conquered without a battle. HFY watched the alien reaction through her intelligence feeds. Panic. Pure panic. Some species were calling emergency sessions. Others were evacuating their border worlds. A few were already discussing surrender terms. The smart ones anyway. The ones who understood what they had seen. The ones who knew resistance was suicide. But some species were stupid, proud, arrogant. They thought they could fight. Thought they could win. Thought their technology was superior. Their tactics better. Their courage greater. They were wrong about everything. And they would learn. They would learn the hard way. The Xanther Empire was one of the stupid ones. They had the largest military in the Federation. Thousands of ships, millions of soldiers, centuries of combat experience. They were conquerors themselves, had built their empire through war, through violence, through strength. They thought they understood warfare. They did not. The Xanther ambassador broadcast a message, a challenge. He called humanity cowards, said the demonstration proved nothing. Destroying rocks was easy. Fighting real warriors was different. He demanded a real test, a real battle. Ship against ship, warrior against warrior, winner takes all. HFY read the message, laughed, actually laughed. It was a rare sound. Her crew had never heard her laugh before. It was cold, cruel, the laugh of a predator watching prey walk into a trap. She accepted the challenge immediately. Sent coordinates, a neutral system. Empty space, far from civilians. Perfect for what was about to happen. The Xanther prepared their fleet. Their best ships, their finest crews, their most experienced commanders. They thought they were going to teach humanity a lesson. Thought they would show the galaxy that humans could be beaten. Thought they would save the Federation. They thought many things. All of them wrong. HFY prepared too. But she only sent one ship, a single destroyer. Small, fast, lightly armed by human standards. Its name was the Soul. Its captain was Young-Soo. A veteran, a killer. A man who lived for moments like this. He reviewed the enemy fleet composition, smiled. This would be fun. The galaxy watched. Every species, every government, every military. They all tuned in, watched their sensors, monitored the feeds. This battle would determine everything. If the Xanther won, maybe the Federation could resist, could fight back, could survive. If humanity won, all hope was lost. The age of peace would end. The age of human dominance would begin. The fleets met in empty space. On one side, 300 Xanther warships. Massive vessels. Ancient designs. Proven in countless battles. On the other side, one small human destroyer. Alone, outnumbered, outgunned, or so it seemed. Young-Soo powered up his weapons, locked his targets, waited for the signal, waited to show the galaxy what one human ship could do. The battle began exactly at noon. Standard galactic time. Both sides had agreed. Captain Young-Soo sat relaxed in his chair. His crew worked quietly. No shouting. No panic, no fear. They had done this before. Many times. Different enemies. Same result. The Xanther fleet moved into formation. 300 ships arranging themselves, trying to surround the single human vessel. Young-Soo let them think they had him trapped. Let them feel confident. Let them believe they would win. He watched their movements, studied their tactics. They were using a standard encirclement pattern, basic, predictable, taught in every military academy, effective against normal enemies, useless against humans. Strategic Coordinator Jimin analyzed the enemy formation, identified the flagship, the command ship, the brain of the fleet. It sat in the center, protected by layers of vessels, surrounded by shields, hidden by interference. The Xanthir thought it was safe. They were wrong. Jimin transmitted the targeting data. Young Su received it, smiled. Time to begin. The soul moved. Not forward, not backward, sideways. A direction that made no sense. The ship rotated 90 degrees, fired its engines, shot through a gap in the encirclement. The Xanthir ships tried to follow, tried to track. Their sensors lost lock. Their weapons could not aim. The soul was too fast, too agile, too advanced. Combat specialist Tae-hee activated the weapons. Not all of them, just one. A single plasma lance. It fired. The beam crossed 3,000 kilometers in an instant, passed through 6 Xanthir ships, through their shields, through their armor, through their cores. All 6 ships exploded, died, vanished in balls of fire. 6 ships gone in 1 second. The Xanthir fleet panicked. Ships broke formation, scattered, tried to run, tried to hide, tried to fight. Nothing worked. The soul was everywhere, moving impossibly fast, appearing, firing, vanishing, appearing somewhere else, firing again. Each shot destroyed multiple ships. Each movement confused the enemy more. Operations Director Min Woo coordinated the attack patterns. He made it look random, chaotic, but it was carefully planned. Each movement served a purpose. Each shot eliminated key targets. Command ships, sensor platforms, communication relays. The Xanthir fleet was being systematically dismantled. Piece by piece, ship by ship, Young Su kept count. 50 ships destroyed, then 70, then 100. The battle had lasted 10 minutes. The Xanthir were trying to retreat, trying to run, but their faster-than-light drives would not activate. Some kind of interference, some human technology blocking them. They were trapped, helpless, doomed. Security analyst So Hyun monitored enemy communications. They were begging for help, calling for reinforcements, pleading with their gods. Nothing helped. Their reinforcements were too far away. Their gods were not listening. They were alone, facing a single human ship, and they were losing, badly. The Xanthir flagship tried something desperate. It fired everything, every weapon, every missile, every beam, thousands of shots, all aimed at the soul, all fired at once. The barrage filled space, lit up sensors, looked unstoppable, looked overwhelming, looked like certain death. The soul's shields activated, not physical shields, not energy barriers, something else, something impossible. The weapon stopped, frozen in space, hanging there motionless like time itself had stopped. Then they reversed, flew backward, returned to the ships that fired them, exploded among the Xanthir fleet, killed their own vessels, destroyed their own forces. Technology Director Woo Jin had designed that system, a temporal reflection field. It did not block attacks. It returned them, sent them back in time a few seconds, made them hit their source. The Xanthir had just killed themselves, their own weapons, their own mistake. Young Su did not even have to fire. The remaining Xanthir ships surrendered. Less than 50 survived, out of 300, destroyed in minutes. By a single ship, the galaxy watched in silence, shocked, horrified, unable to process what they had seen. This was not a battle. This was an execution, a demonstration, a message written in fire and blood. Systems engineer Hanul was already working, boarding the Xanthir ships remotely, hacking their computers, stealing their data. Every piece of technology, every tactical plan, every strategic secret. Within hours, humanity would know everything the Xanthir knew, would have everything they had, would be even stronger. Field Commander Jinnah led the boarding teams, not to the destroyed ships, to the surrendered ones. Marines poured through the airlocks, secured the vessels, captured the crews. The Xanthir warriors did not resist, could not resist. They had seen what human weapons did, saw what human technology could do. Fighting was suicide. The prisoners were processed quickly, efficiently. Jinnah's teams were professional, cold. They separated officers from crew, engineers from soldiers, those with knowledge from those without. The useful ones would be questioned. The useless ones would be released, to spread the word, to tell the story, To make sure everyone knew, Young Su transmitted his report to Fleet Command. Battle complete. Enemy destroyed. Casualties 0. Damage 0. Ammunition used minimal. Time elapsed 17 minutes. He kept it simple, direct, no drama. Just facts. The facts spoke for themselves. One human ship had destroyed an entire fleet. Had changed the balance of power in the galaxy. The Federation Emergency Council assembled. Every member was present. Every species represented. Their faces showed terror, despair, hopelessness. The Xanthir had been their strongest military. Their best hope. Their last defense. Now the Xanthir were broken, defeated, humiliated. If they could not fight humanity, who could? Defense Coordinator Sang Woo monitored the council meeting. Every word was translated, every gesture analyzed, every decision recorded. The aliens were arguing. Some wanted to surrender immediately, accept whatever terms humanity offered, save what they could. Others wanted to keep fighting, to resist, to die with honor. Linguistic specialist He Jin noted the language patterns, the defeated tone, the hopeless words. The aliens were broken, psychologically destroyed. They had believed in their superiority, in their advanced civilization, in their peaceful galaxy. All those beliefs were shattered. Humanity had shown them the truth. Power was all that mattered, and humanity had all the power. Diplomatic envoy Byung-ho prepared 2 sets of terms, one for species that surrendered, one for species that resisted. The surrender terms were harsh but survivable. Heavy restrictions, tribute payments, military limitations, technology sharing, but they would live. They would keep their worlds. They would have a future. The resistance terms were simple. Extinction, complete, total, absolute. Humanity would not fight prolonged wars, would not waste resources on stubborn enemies, would not show mercy to those who refused peace. Any species that chose war would be eliminated, their worlds burned, their people scattered, their history erased. Most species chose surrender. 90% of the Federation. They signed the treaties, accepted the terms, bent the knee. They had no choice. Not really. Survival was better than extinction. Slavery was better than death. Pride was worthless when you were ashes. But some species refused. 5 major empires, dozens of minor kingdoms, hundreds of independent worlds. They chose war, chose resistance, chose death. They thought courage would save them, thought determination would matter, thought their gods would intervene. They were wrong about everything. Strategic Coordinator Jimin planned the campaigns, 17 different wars, all happening simultaneously, each one targeting a resistant species, each one designed for total victory, each one led by experienced commanders, each one supported by overwhelming force. The wars would be short, brutal, decisive. Operations Director Min Woo coordinated the logistics, ships, troops, supplies, weapons. Everything moved into position. Everything prepared for combat. Everything ready to strike. The alien resistors had maybe a week, maybe less. Then the hammer would fall, and nothing would survive. Security analyst So Hyun finalized the terms of surrender for the Xanthir. They were humiliating, intentionally so. The Xanthir would disarm completely, dismantle their fleet, close their shipyards, share all technology, pay massive tribute, accept human observers, become a client state, effectively slaves in all but name. The Xanthir government debated for hours. Some wanted to refuse, to fight to the end, to die free rather than live enslaved. But their military was gone, their fleet destroyed, their pride shattered. They had no cards to play, no leverage, no hope. They signed. They surrendered. They accepted their fate. The surrender was broadcast across the galaxy. Every species watched, saw the mighty Xanthir brought low, saw their leaders bow to human demands, saw their empire become a puppet. The message was clear. This would happen to everyone. Resistance was futile. Surrender was inevitable. Humanity had won. President Saiwu stood before the Galactic Federation. The Grand Council chamber was full. Every seat occupied. Every species represented. Cameras broadcast to billions of worlds. This speech would be remembered forever, would define the new era, would establish the new order. Siwu wore a simple suit, black, no decorations, no symbols. He needed none. Everyone knew who he was, what he represented. Chief of Staff Jae-hoon stood beside him, silent, watching. His expression was unreadable, carved from stone. He scanned the crowd constantly, looking for threats, for danger, for anyone foolish enough to try something. His hand rested near his weapon, ready, always ready, but no one would try anything. They were too afraid. Siwoo began speaking. His voice was calm, measured, strong. He spoke about humanity's arrival, about the wars that had been fought, about the battles won, about the enemies defeated. He did not gloat, did not boast, just stated facts, simple truths, undeniable realities. Humanity had come to the galaxy, had proven their strength, had earned their place. Then he talked about the future, about what humanity wanted. The aliens listened carefully, fearfully, expected demands for territory, for slaves, for tribute, for worship. That was how empires worked, how conquerors operated. Take everything, give nothing, rule through fear and force. But Siwoo surprised them. Humanity claimed no territory, would not seize alien worlds, would not enslave alien populations, would not demand tribute, would not force worship. Humanity wanted only one thing: respect, simple respect, recognition of human strength, acknowledgement of human superiority, acceptance of human authority. In return, humanity offered partnership, protection, trade, technology sharing, cultural exchange. The Federation could keep their governments, their worlds, their freedom, as long as they remembered, as long as they understood, as long as they never forgot who was really in charge. Enforcement Director Myung-hee made sure this message reached everyone. Every planet, every station, every ship. She commanded the information networks, controlled the broadcasts, managed the propaganda. The speech was translated into every language, shown on every screen, heard by every being. No one could claim ignorance. No one could say they did not understand. The Federation Council voted to accept, unanimously, every species, every representative, every government. They had no choice. But they also saw opportunity. Humanity was offering partnership, real partnership, not the fake equality the Federation pretended, but honest cooperation based on clear hierarchy, humans on top, everyone else below. At least it was honest. Trade Coordinator Yuna began establishing commercial networks immediately. She connected human corporations with alien markets, matched human resources with alien needs, created trade agreements that benefited both sides. The aliens got access to human technology, human medicine, human entertainment, human culture, things they desperately wanted. Humanity got resources, raw materials from 1,000 worlds, exotic compounds, rare elements, unique biologicals, things Earth did not have, could not produce, needed for continued expansion. The trade was fair, balanced, profitable for everyone. Humanity did not need to steal. Taking by force was wasteful. Trade was more efficient. Cultural liaison Sang-mi introduced human art to the galaxy. Music, painting, literature, films, theater, dance. The aliens were fascinated. Human culture was violent, passionate, emotional, intense. So different from their own peaceful traditions. They consumed it eagerly, bought it, copied it, tried to understand it. Human philosophy spread too. Ideas about struggle, about competition, about survival of the fittest, about earning what you get, about fighting for your place. These concepts were foreign to Federation species. They believed in cooperation, in harmony, in everyone getting along, but those beliefs had made them weak. Human ideas would make them stronger. Exploration Chief Do-hyun organized mixed species expeditions, human ships, alien scientists, joint missions into unknown space, exploring uncharted systems, discovering new worlds, finding new resources. The aliens brought knowledge, understanding of exotic environments, experience with strange phenomena. Humans brought protection, firepower, the ability to handle anything they found. These expeditions were successful, profitable, exciting. They found ancient ruins, lost civilizations, abandoned technology, valuable resources, dangerous anomalies, beautiful wonders. The mixed crews worked well together, learned from each other, built friendships, built trust, proved that cooperation was possible. But Admiral Hwan Hee kept the fleets ready. maintained full combat readiness, continued patrol schedules, monitored all threats, because peace was fragile, temporary, only as strong as the force protecting it. The moment humanity showed weakness, the moment their guard dropped, enemies would emerge, challengers would appear, war would return. Training Officer Gyung-soo prepared new generations. Human children learned combat from age 5, tactics from age 10, strategy from age 15. By 20, they were ready for war. Ready for command, ready to fight, ready to die if necessary, but preferably ready to kill. The training never stopped, never slowed, never softened. Research Coordinator Yoo Jin continued developing weapons. Better ones, stronger ones, more devastating ones. Humanity could not rest, could not relax, could not stop improving. Other species would catch up eventually, would learn human secrets, would copy human technology. Humanity had to stay ahead, had to keep the advantage, had to remain superior. New weapons emerged from the laboratories. Reality bombs that erased entire solar systems. Dimensional cutters that split space itself. Time locks that froze targets in eternal moments. Consciousness dissolvers that destroyed minds while leaving bodies intact. Each weapon more terrible than the last. Each one ensuring humanity's dominance. Some aliens questioned this. Asked why humans needed such weapons. Why they kept building. Why they kept preparing for war. When there was peace. When there were treaties. When everyone had agreed to cooperate. The answer was simple. Because peace only existed when backed by overwhelming force. The galaxy had cowered in horror when humanity arrived. Feared human weapons, dreaded human violence, trembled at human power. That fear kept the peace. That terror prevented war. That horror ensured cooperation. The moment aliens stopped being afraid, the moment they forgot what humans could do, violence would return. So humanity maintained the fear, through demonstrations, through exercises, through displays of power, regular reminders of what human weapons could do, what human soldiers could accomplish, what human technology had achieved. The aliens watched, remembered, stayed peaceful. Years passed, then decades. The new order became normal, natural, expected. Young aliens grew up in a galaxy ruled by humans, never knew anything different, never questioned it. This was just how things were. Humans at the top, everyone else below, working together, trading, exploring, living in peace. But older aliens remembered the wars, the demonstrations, the terror. They taught their children, made sure the knowledge survived, made sure no one forgot. This was not natural peace, not real harmony. This was enforced order, maintained by threat, guaranteed by violence. Some called it tyranny, oppression, dictatorship, humanity ruling through fear, controlling through force, taking freedom in exchange for security. They were not entirely wrong, but they were not entirely right either, because the galaxy was thriving, prospering, growing. Under Federation rule, the galaxy had been stagnant, safe but boring, peaceful but unchanging. Species kept their territories, followed their traditions, never grew, never changed, never challenged themselves. It was peaceful, but it was dying, slowly suffocating under its own stability. Under human rule, the galaxy was dynamic, changing, evolving. Species competed, improved, reached higher, tried harder, became more. They had to keep up with humanity, to earn respect, to maintain their place. Competition drove progress. Struggle created strength. Conflict bred excellence. President Saiwu watched from Earth, saw the reports, read the statistics. The galaxy was better now than before. More productive. More innovative. More alive. Yes, humans controlled it. Yes, humans dominated it. But humans also protected it, guided it, improved it. He thought about the future, about what would come next. Humanity would continue expanding, growing, exploring beyond known space, finding new species, making new contacts, facing new challenges. The galaxy was just the beginning. The universe was vast, infinite, waiting. But he also thought about the present, about maintaining order, about keeping peace, about preventing rebellion. The alien species were adapting, learning, growing stronger. Someday they might challenge humanity again, might test human power, might seek independence. When that day came, humanity would be ready. would respond, would remind everyone why humans ruled, would demonstrate again what human power meant, would show mercy to those who submitted, would show destruction to those who resisted, would maintain the order, would keep the peace, would hold the leash, because that was the truth no one wanted to say, the reality everyone tried to ignore. The galaxy thrived under human protection, prospered under human guidance, lived because humanity allowed it. The warship had arrived. The galaxy had cowered in horror, and now the galaxy thrived under humanity's shadow. The question was whether they would remember who cast that shadow.